Hi everyone, it's Bonita from Pennies to Dollars. And today we are going to talk about what if your retirement plans are busted. I know the 401k thing is scaring everyone right now. The market is not doing well. There's uncertainty in the United States as far as financial situations, and the pandemic has gone on way too long. That has affected a lot of people. So we're going to talk about what happens when you are either planning for retirement or you are retired on a fixed income and you have planned for all of this and then something goes awry and it's just busted. In my situation, I work for someone right now that has a 401k, and that company, it is required that you contribute to the 401k. I suggest that you understand the requirements of taking your money out of that. Once your money is in there, it is in there. And unless you meet the requirements to take your money out, your money is just in there. And so I have known people that have retired and not understood that they factor in percentages, years of service, and different requirements that give you a certain amount of what you get per month. And a lot of people have maybe put a bunch of money in there, and then maybe their pension is $200 or $300 for 15 or 17 years of service per month, and they didn't understand that. So be sure and understand how your 401k works. Don't just assume because you have $400,000 in there that there's still going to be $400,000 when you retire, because when you retire based on the investments of that 401k, it's possible that you could have lost money. I have known people that have lost a 25% of their $400,000 in their 401k, and they're not sure how they're going to recoup from that. I personally am planning on leaving before I get to the point that I'm retiring from this company, and then I'm going to take my money out in cash with as few as penalties as possible, because I will be at the age and follow the requirements that I can take the money out of there. But be sure and know those rules. A lot of people have lost money in the 401k. It isn't always guaranteed that you're going to have a lot of extra money, or that you're even going to have a very big pension and payout when that is over. So if you are in that category, I just suggest you be well educated on the rules if you're still working. Also, right now, we need to be vigilant in tracking every dollar being spent. I have a written budget, but I have gotten lax on writing down every dollar spent. So for the month of March, I am going to write down every dollar and where it goes and see exactly where I am at. I am planning on retiring. We have sold our business. We did not sell it for anywhere near what it was worth. And so us selling that business is putting a big financial check mark where we thought we had this taken care of. It is not taken care of. So that was going to go into our retirement funds. Now it looks like we're going to have to work longer than we planned, which is very discouraging. So I'm starting this every month. I'm going to track every dollar and see where I'm at and try to make sure that we can stay well below our means so that we can start saving even more money than we've already been saving. With that, I encourage you to look at your banking fees. I am guilty of this. I live in a rural area, and a lot of times we get with a bank and we stay with the bank because of its location, because we've been there for years, because we know how everything works, or it'll be too big of a hassle to maybe change our Social Security deposit or change our check deposit. And so we just stick with them. And let me give you an example of what has happened with me at my bank over the years. I started out getting interest on my checking account and getting interest on my savings account. When they decided to take that interest away on a checking account with a minimum balance, they grandfathered me in. So I continued to receive interest on that checking account. Then they decided to no longer honor that grandfathering clause and to take the interest away. Then they decided to not only not honor that, but start charging us $5 a month for a banking checking charge regardless. So I'm now paying $60 a year for a checking account that I used to get interest on. And I've done nothing different. I've changed nothing over the years, but now I'm being charged $60 where I was getting interest. So I plan on moving banks, and yes, I'm going to have to jump through some things to get my check deposited somewhere else, but that's going to save me $60 a year. And every dollar matters right now. While we are dealing with the economy the way it is, with the 401ks losing money the way they are, with different things, that inflation has been crazy. With these things, we need to look at every dollar and whether or not those dollars are being well spent. And I feel like that $60 could be well spent somewhere else. And so I will be moving my business. Another thing that we need to think about is any way that we can save pennies to equal dollars. And that's why I call my YouTube channel Pennies to Dollars, is because if you take care of the pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. And you need to value that. A lot of people will say, oh, these are little things that I'm doing, they don't add up enough. Well, overall, they do add up and they do matter. And not only do they add up and matter, they kind of set a pace and they set a lifestyle for you to learn and adjust to being more frugal. And once you get used to that kind of lifestyle, it's so easy. But a lot of times people just see the picture of, oh my gosh, I'm not doing those little things. That's just a bother. But is it really a bother if you have to work more hours, if you have to scrimp, if you have to save, if you don't have enough money to pay your bills and then you have late fees? It's worth it. It really is worth it. So we've put even more frugal things into place over the last month preparing for the sale of our business. I am making all of my chicken broth from scratch. I am no longer buying any boxed or canned chicken broth. We are buying whole chickens and I'm cooking them at home and I'm making them last like 4 or 5 days worth of meals, and I'm getting creative in what I'm doing to make that meat last. So I can buy one $6 chicken and it can last for 4 to 5 days. Another thing, as you can see here behind me, I've got my romaine lettuce. I've got the bases growing in there. We're going to start growing our own lettuce. It is snowing outside, and I am still going to grow my own lettuce inside. Same with my green onions. I've got them growing. We're going to start doing every little thing to make a difference. And so I encourage you to think about what you can do to make a difference in your day-to-day life, what you can do to try to help if your retirement plans are busted like ours are. We want to retire. We want to retire before 62 if we can, and we want to retire at 62 no matter what. And so we are going to do every little thing that we can to scrimp and save and become more frugal between now and then. And I encourage you to look at your lifestyle and see if you can do the same. We can do this. Let's do it together. Thanks for watching today.